everyone, and welcome to Exploring Tarot with me, Sandi, or Sandra, whichever you prefer. Today I'm doing a video response to Tarot Natt Plans on her hashtag intimidatingdecks. I saw this video of hers just a few moments ago, so this is a spur of the moment video that I just immediately felt like I wanted to tackle, because I already knew exactly which decks I wanted to talk about, and I will just get straight into it. The first one I actually showed in my previous video, and I also already kind of told you guys that this was a deck that I was intimidated by. And that is the Wildwood Tarot. I'm not going to go too much into too much detail. I'm just going to talk a little bit about why this is intimidating to me, and here we go. So this deck has been on my radar for ever. I mean, for as long as I've known about the deck, which was several years ago now, probably about 5-6 years ago. I saw this deck in a video, I think, and I immediately knew that this deck was going to be mine one day, and that it was going to be a very special deck for me. However, I got it quite a while ago now, and I have not worked with it yet because the system intimidates me a little bit, and also because I've got so many other decks that I've bought that I feel that I want to also give the time of day. So this deck is patiently awaiting for my courage, for me to pluck up my courage, and for me to take the time to actually get to know the deck properly, because I think the reason why I haven't worked with it yet is because I feel such a special connection to this deck, and I really want to do it justice once I start working with it. I don't want to just, half-heartedly step into it and then decide, no, this is too difficult for me, and then just leave it lying around in a drawer. So instead, I've decided to just put it away and wait till I am actually ready to work with this deck. So this deck, yes, while it's intimidating, I also kind of feel that I just really want to do it justice. So that's the Wildwood Tarot, and this card is a bit scary, isn't it? And yeah, this is one of my intimidating decks. Let's put that to one side. The next intimidating deck I got was a deck that I thought about for a long time before getting it, and that was the Margarete Petersen Tarot. Again, a deck that I felt like instantly connected to or drawn to, but once I got here, first of all, the cards are just so big for my tiny little hands, so I have a hard time shuffling with it. I've been thinking about trimming off the borders on these three sides and leaving this, but since I haven't felt ready to work with this yet either, I've decided to wait and see how it goes. This deck intimidates me because the artwork just feels so strong, and at the same time I'm not sure if I'll be able to read with it. I think I've tried a couple of times to do some readings, and both times I felt like I fell short, not the deck, but myself. My intuition wasn't just enough. I think maybe I need to just get used to using my intuition a bit more, maybe. I'm not sure why. It's just a lot of the time looking at these cards, I feel a little bit overwhelmed. I feel like there's so many messages maybe that might be able to come through, that I'm not sure how to handle it. And also I feel like, the difference is here. If you look at, so far the artwork has been kind of cohesive, but then all of a sudden something like this comes up, and it doesn't feel, now when you look closer to that as well, I suppose, but it's somehow it feels like this is a different type of art style, and it throws me off a little bit. Like here as well, abstract, not so abstract, and it throws me off a little bit. But then I think also the pippish nature of the suits, the minor arcana, is I don't know. I haven't learned how to read with pips yet. I haven't learned properly numerology yet. I'm still studying, so it is what it is. And this deck is sitting on the shelf because I'm too scared to work with it, I suppose, or maybe lazy, I don't know. But for example, between these two cards now, if it weren't for the titles, I really wouldn't know, how to read this in any way, shape or form. So I think maybe this might not be the deck for me, but at the same time I love the artwork, and again, this feels like it's from two completely different decks, and that throws me off. But yeah, if you love this deck and you found a way to work with it, please drop a comment down below and tell me all about it. I would love to hear what you feel about this deck. And yeah, so that was the Margarete Petersen tarot. Let's put that over here. And the next one is kind of intimidating for a similar reason to the Margarete Petersen tarot, and that is the Shimmering Veil tarot. Got this a long while ago now, and I love the artwork to bits, really, and the guidebook is really special as well, but I haven't worked with it much, partly because the artwork is just so strong, and I'm a bit scared of what kind of messages I would get through this, to be honest. I'm intimidated by this deck because it's so strong, and because I'm not ready for it, I don't think. It's just so gorgeous, and I've been in a bit of a fragile state this past year, coming to terms with illness and death in the family, and my personal mental health issues. And yeah, when I got it, I immediately felt that no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to work with this deck. It's too evocative, it's too deep, maybe is the word I'm looking for. It's too scary for me right now. I need something a bit more gentler, a gentle touch at the moment, and I don't think that I should force myself to read with a deck that I just immediately get the sense of how special it is, but I immediately get the sense of how strong the messages might be, and I just felt intuitively that this was not a deck that I can work with right now. Maybe in a while, when I've healed a little bit more. But just looking at these images now, I just feel really strongly that I want to put it back in the box. So, yeah. I really do hope that I feel ready to work with it soon, though, because it's the energy from this deck is just, yeah, it's something else. And that gilding. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Right. Let's put this back in the box. With this little black tourmaline. There we go. Right, the next deck, I've got two more decks. The next one is the Gill Tarot. I got this probably about 2 years ago, and I have never read with it. It intimidates me because I did not know or did not realize when I bought it that it was based on Thoth. And I have no experience with Thoth. I think you say it like. I have no experience with it, and I mean, I was just drawn to the pretty art, and I think I saw it through Katie Flowers, one of her videos, and she spoke so warmly of this deck. I don't know how I missed that it's based on the Thoth system, but I did, and when I found out about that after I got it. I love this Hermit card, it's so pretty, but like all of this Kabbalistic stuff, I have no clue about it. I don't really know if I want to learn about it, not yet at least. I might read about it. I don't know if I'm going to apply it to how I read, but yeah. And then I thought maybe the keywords on the minors were going to help me learn better, but then when I realized that it's not the same as the Rider-Waite, I also kind of hesitated a bit, and I don't know, it's just some of these cards are really beautiful. Obviously, I obviously am drawn to the artwork. That's not the problem. I just haven't reached for it. I haven't read with it, and I just think it's because I'm too intimidated by the fact that it's based on the Thoth system. So this is my 4th deck in my collection that I find intimidating, albeit beautiful. So the last deck I'm going to show you is a deck that I have very recently started to read with, actually. I got it ages ago. I bought it through the pre-order, but it's been sitting on my shelf for months, just looking at me, staring at me. I was waiting for this so impatiently, and when it finally arrived, I felt I couldn't work with it. I think it's because I was in the fragile state I was in when it arrived. I just decided to wait, and I'm glad that I did, because now, the first time I used it, I got a very interesting and helpful reading, and I feel like now is the time for us to get to know each other a bit better. You've probably seen this deck all over the place already. It's had a lot of buzz around it, but again, pictures like this just made me feel so vulnerable, and I felt like I wasn't ready to be vulnerable, not even in front of myself at the time when I got this deck. I felt like the time wasn't ripe for me to work with this deck. Now, when I'm feeling a bit better, a bit stronger, I think that I might be able to work with it and get something from the work that we do together. It's going to be difficult. It's a very emotional deck in many ways, and it's very beautiful. But it was for a long time, and I still am intimidated by this deck. I'm still scared of reading with this, because I'm scared of what emotions it's going to bring up for me. However, I am learning to deal with my emotions and let them be, to just sit and feel my emotions so that they can heal. And I think this deck is going to be really good in helping me with that. But yeah, this is the last deck I'm going to show you that that's in my collection, that I have been and still am intimidated by. And I can't wait to see all the decks that others are going to show in this category about decks that intimidate you. This was a really fun and interesting hashtag. So thank you so much to Natt Plans for making the first video and making up this hashtag, intimidating decks. This was really fun, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!